Hi, I'm so glad you decided to join our school. I'm running a little late to pick you up, but while I've got you on the phone, let me ask, what drives you? In other words, what motivates you to do what you do? What grabs your attention? Humor, active participation, variety, conflict, or authenticity? Ah, the kids. They really do. When you're trying to get somewhere, you have to be careful of the load you're carrying, and this goes for learning as well. Many of the multimedia principles that we'll talk about later deal with avoiding cognitive load and making the brain work harder than it has to. Simply put, don't overload it with unnecessary stuff. With that said, I need to drop off these two first. For me, they're partly what drives me. They drive me crazy some days, but more relevantly, they drive me to want to succeed. While I'm on my way, I'll introduce you to my other interest relevant to my success. One is multimedia. As a teacher, I use it a lot, but I have to be particular. Multimedia should motivate with attention and relevance. When I graduated high school, I was confident that I had it all figured out. I'd get my degree in English and media arts, so when I left college, I'd be a hard-hitting global journalist revealing hidden truths to the world. But those goals and my definition of success have changed. To be motivated, we need to define success in the moment. For many of us, that includes doing something relevant to us that we choose and knowing we are doing well at it. This is why choices and timely positive or corrective feedback are important, and it's why it's fundamental that we gain our learners' attention. We can direct attention by being intentional about CARP. This is contrast, alignment, repetition, and proximity. Contrast can be shown through color, size, or style, such as with font, like with Wit and Burley here. The difference draws a person's eyes where you want it and points out hierarchy for what's important. If it stands out, it will get attention. Alignment provides structure. When something is not aligned with our expectations, it draws our attention. It can be a good thing if we want the attention there, but not if you don't. When typing a document, you can align left, center, or right, or you can justify, but you never want to keep changing lanes without a specific plan. As with alignment, repetition provides structure and stability. My husband and I have been together for more than 30 years. After all that time together, year after year, we know what to expect from each other. With repetition, the expected pattern benefits people with cognitive barriers. It frees their cognitive load from having to search for important information if they know where to expect it. This goes with the coherence principle. You want to kiss, but don't seduce. Keep it super simple to avoid extraneous cognitive load or putting too much strain on the working memory with needless stuff. Let your learner focus on the learning objectives, not silly pictures, text, or sounds. Oh, that truck distracted me, and I missed your street. Let me make a quick turnabout, and I'll be right there. This is why you always want to pay attention and plan it out to keep everything flowing smoothly. Okay, so our last part of CARP is proximity. Similar to the contiguity principle in multimedia, proximity means that things that are related should stick together. So you put headings next to the paragraphs. You put graphics near related text, and you put narration in time with its related graphics. And then the modality principle tells us to choose our graphics carefully. We should use fewer representational and decorative graphics and more graphics that make people think, like relational, organizational, transformational, and symbolic graphics. And we should narrate the graphics, only using text under certain conditions. For example, if it's really important or there are no graphics, you don't want their eyes trying to read and comprehend the graphics too, especially if there's narration to go with it. Even if it's good information, it's still an extraneous load on working memory. This is the redundancy principle, and the modality principle is similar. Oh, look at that! Now I have a soul, but I once had a cute little VW bug like that. Lower capacity learners are like my bug. They do better with chunking, like the multimedia segmenting principle, or taking small pieces at a time. They'll eventually get where they need to go, or learn what they need to learn. They're just breaking up the trip to get there. Oh, gosh. We got caught at the light. The traffic signal reminds me. It cues us that there's cross traffic, and you need to slow down or stop. The signaling principle is also about highlighting or cueing important pieces of information. It could add a word where text isn't otherwise needed, a highlight, or an icon. Going back to school reminds me of the pre-training principle. You know, how you buy all new supplies before the kids come to set the right tone? Well, with pre-training, you load in a bit of information like objectives and terms at the beginning. It redistributes the cognitive load. If you're tempted to use Zoom and record yourself speaking or creating an animation with a computer voice, don't. Under the voice principle, people prefer human speech, not machines. And under the image principle, they don't really want to see your talking head. So go ahead and use an avatar, but use your own voice to narrate. The reason is similar to the personalization principle. Be down to earth and human. Use a conversational style. So it's important to know your learners and their needs. It's also important to know that what may benefit a low-level learner may not benefit one with experience and knowledge. Our school is just around the corner, and we have plenty of time, so we won't be late for the back-to-school convocation. I am so excited you'll be working with us this year. If you need anything at all, I'm just down the hall. Oh, that sign reminds me. I need gas. And about our conversation today, just consider it fuel for thought. I'll be back after filling up.